Hi, my name is Briggs Vining, and today I'm going to be analyzing the movie The Intern through a human resource management lens. Specifically, I'm going to focus on a major workplace issue that was shown throughout the movie, how to apply HR theories to analyze that problem, then to propose solutions, as well as including the best one for the long-term success of the company. First, I'm just going to start with a little movie summary. The movie, The Intern, takes place in a fast-growing startup e-commerce company called About the Fit. The company is led by CEO Jules Austin, who is very passionate and driven, but is also heavily involved in every aspect of the business to a fault. The story introduces Ben Whitaker, a 70-year-old man who becomes an intern and joins through a senior internship program. As the company begins to grow rapidly, Jules becomes increasingly overwhelmed as she tries to manage everything by herself. Ben provides a different perspective and gradually becomes a mentor figure over time, allowing her to slow down and to have a great transformation. Overall, the movie highlights real workplace challenges that can come with rapid growth, leadership pressure, and overall organizational change. I believe that the main human resources issue in this movie is about leadership overload combined with poor employee delegation of responsibility. Jules takes on too many responsibilities and struggles to trust her employees with many important tasks. Because of this, her employees can rely too heavily on her for big decisions. This ultimately creates a bottleneck in their workflow and slows down productivity for the company as a whole. Her leadership style also limits employee confidence and independence, which negatively affects overall efficiency and team development. This main issue also leads to several additional workplace problems that can be found throughout the movie. First, there is lots of role ambiguity, which basically means employees are unclear about their responsibilities, which can lead to great amounts of frustration. Second, there is lots of employee burnout and stress, especially for Jules, who works long hours and struggles to keep a consistent work-life balance. Third, the company lacks a formal structure, which creates confusion and inefficiency overall. And lastly, Jules demonstrates that she is a micromanager, which prevents employees from growing and taking ownership of their roles, as well as just creating a negative culture overall. To better understand these issues, we can apply two different human resource theories. The first one is role theory. Jules experiences role overload because she takes on too many responsibilities at one time. At this same moment, employees also experience role ambiguity because they lack clear expectations and are not delegated correctly with the roles that they are supposed to be doing. This combination leads to stress and reduced performance as a total. The second theory to look at is going to be transformational leadership. This leadership style focuses heavily on empowering employees, building trust, and encouraging independence. Jules initially does not demonstrate this. In fact, actually has quite the opposite of a management style. But after meeting Ben, who models this through mentorship, emotional intelligence, and support, she begins to change her ways. I believe there are three possible solutions to this, with the first one being to implement a more formal organizational structure to the company. This would include hiring experienced professionals, defining roles for employees more clearly, and improving overall communication. This would ultimately increase efficiency, but as a con, could negatively affect the company's flexibility and adaptability as they are a fast-growing startup company with a particular culture. The second solution is going to be leadership development. This involves improving Jules's ability to delegate responsibilities to her employees, communication, as well as overall trust, and giving independence and autonomy to her employees. This solution would directly address the root problem of the company although it might take a long time to fully implement and for her to change her ways. The third solution would be to implement a formal HR system. This would include defining job roles, giving a better performance management process, and having an attainable work-life balance policy. This would reduce overall employee burnout and improve the organization. The major con to this would be the company would feel a lot less dynamic and would affect the company's adaptability. Out of those three possible solutions, I believe the best one would be for Jules to work on her overall leadership development. Improving Jules' leadership style would address the root cause of the company with the lack of communication and overload. It also allows employees to become more independent, reducing her workload while also supporting long-term growth for the company. This also wouldn't have major effects on the company culture as well as for their startup and their fast-growing pace. In conclusion, the movie The Intern highlights a very common workplace issue: leadership strain caused by poor employee delegation and lack of organizational structure. By applying the two human resource theories of role theory and transformational leadership, we can better understand why these problems occur and how to prevent them in the future. While I believe there are multiple solutions that exist, I think leadership style and leadership development would be the most effective because it's going to create a sustainable change that not only empowers the leader and upper management, but gives employees autonomy and confidence as well as independence to do their job. Ultimately, by improving leadership is key to building a successful and balanced organization. Thank you.